Two worlds. Our world is a planet of dualities. It's either smothered in sunlight, or bathed in moonlight, covered in watery plains, or blown away wastelands. Since black or white is the theme that rules Mother Earth, I wonder why people are so scared when they heard I was bipolar. In case you don't know what bipolar disorder is, let me explain. You may have heard of its former moniker, manic depressive. Most of its victims are delusional and fluctuate between feeling ecstatic and talking nonstop to anyone who would listen. Do you know we live on a planet? The aliens just planted us just like a garden. We are totally responsible to them for evolution. They change our DNA while we're sleeping. We are so self-centered a species as if we're the only populated planet in the multiverse. See, even you call it a universe. Like it's the only universe. That's why I call it a multiverse. Who kicked me? When we're not talking, and actually we never stop talking, we are spending money on necessary items like underwear. Oh, I'll take a dozen of those lacy purple panties. You know, purple is the highest spiritual color. It represents the crown chakra. Here, put all of this on my American Express card. I call it the God card because God pays all of the money. I thought pieces of garbage on the street had meaning for me and held messages to me from God. What's this? A half-smoked cigarette. Must mean some aliens quit smoking. I slept 5 minutes a night and meditated 5 seconds a day. There, that's done. I felt very spiritual, obsessed and possessed by aliens, or was God's chosen person, Queen of the Jews. Then, without fair warning, I'd plunge into a state of doom and gloom and stop shopping, theorizing, thinking, talking, and living all together. During these depressive episodes, I'd pray that God would take me to heaven or down to hell. Anything is better than the hell I felt just being alive. I would jump out of a window and end it all, but I'd have to get up and move to do that. I remember my first series of manic episodes. I was married to X1. That's what I call my former husbands, and living in Santa Monica, California. And driving X1 crazy. He was editing a newspaper, and I called him every 30 minutes or so with a new theory of evolution. He found a hospital to admit me, but after the 24-hour hold, as they call it, he believed me when I told him I was better and foolishly took me home. He had no idea I spent the entire night talking to God, who I believed was in a light bulb on the ceiling just over my head. One night, he decided to try the neuropsychiatric clinic at UCLA. We were in the basement of the campus and we'd been told to follow the yellow line on the floor until we reached it. The campus is about a square mile, and we entered at the wrong end. At one point, we passed a huge plastic bag that contained what must have been the assortment of the day's casts, waiting for the garbage pickup. To my deluded mind, these were the day's casts from the Stepford Wives surgeries. And I was about to turn into a 5'11" waspy blonde. Just what every short, dark-haired Jewish girl wants. I was not frightened by this fantasy because, unlike in the book, my brilliant mind would not be changed. Well, that delusion only lasted a few minutes until the next one began. Since I now realized I was in a hospital, I abruptly believed I was pregnant. By the time we reached the shrink zone, I had induced a hysterical pregnancy and my stomach swelled so enormously I had to unzip my jeans. When I at last entered the consultation room, there were 5 shrinks sitting in a circle. 3 of them wore eyeglasses like I did, which meant to me they were the good aliens. The others didn't wear glasses, so they were the evil aliens. The good aliens could read my mind, so communication between us was unnecessary. And I didn't dare let on that I recognized the evil aliens for what they were. When the aliens finally asked me what I was doing there, I pulled up my shirt and showed them my big belly and pronounced proudly, "I'm pregnant!" While they looked at each other, I was observing the macrame plant hanger hanging from the ceiling from the far corner. I knew this was the earthquake barometer. And if it started to move, I would know a quake had started above us, on the surface, just where earthquakes happen. Then the alien shrinks started asking me shrinky type questions. What do you think of when you hear a rolling stone gathers no moss? A rock band, I answered. Oh, but you want the traditional interpretation, I guess. And I told them, well, you can't run from place to place and expect to succeed. They continued with their proverbs, and so did I. And after a few more questions, they asked me to wait outside and called X1 in. I learned later that the shrinks had suspiciously asked him why he brought me to neuropsychiatric since I was pregnant. Were they accusing him of being crazy? He said he nearly picked up a chair and threw it at them. Then we'd both be committed, him in jail and me in an institute of higher learning, as I called the various mental wards I had attended. I wasn't trying to trick anyone into believing I was normal. I just had no idea how nuts I was. During the times when I was manic like crazy, I was working in the music business. A perfect fit. Most of my peers were so strung out on coke, they didn't notice when I was nuts. Once I had to go to the Grammy Awards with my boss, who was accepting the award for Anne Murray. I learned my boss got the flu, and I had to accept the award for her. Since these awards are televised, what I was going to wear became crucial to me. So I decided to wear the blue suede pants, precariously stitched together with rawhide, now sizes too big. I constructed these pants when I was in one of my nut houses. You've heard of it, Bellevue. I'd been refusing to make a wallet in occupational therapy. Only crazy people made wallets. Then I realized if I didn't make a wallet or an ashtray or something, they would never let me out. But if I made pants, they would have to release me sooner. So I put them on and donned an orange silk shirt from India, a subtle color combination, and black knee-high rubber Wellington rain boots from England. Backstage, the wardrobe department tried to get me into an appropriate outfit. I had none of that. I mean, everything wore symbolized something to me. Eventually, the show went on without me. As a dismembered voice announced Anne Murray's award. Well, I struggled to get on stage. The men in the white coats gently led me into an ambulance. Though claiming I was pregnant, I was taken away to the nearest mental ward. I was so crazy that for years I was misdiagnosed. My first hospital shrink, a cute Asian who inspected me from behind perfectly round tortoiseshell glasses, thought I was schizophrenic because he believed I had to be hearing voices. So he prescribed an antipsychotic called Haldol, which I called Hold On. The drug brought me down to earth with a thud, along with a myriad of side effects. It wasn't until I met a female psychiatrist when I was back in New York City who immediately declared, "You're manic depressive." No, I'm not. I'm just like Carlos Castaneda. I have my own spiritual advisor. No, you are having a manic episode, she said, beginning to write the prescription that would end my illness and change my life forever. That woman saved my life with the correct diagnosis of my symptoms. While the Asian doctor might have been cuter, he could have had me institutionalized for the rest of my life. However, after her diagnosis, I got well, and I've never been locked up again.